Have you ever found yourself squinting at the newspaper or struggling to read a recipe that once was crystal clear? It's a common experience for many of us past 70, and it can feel like a loss of independence when our eyes don't cooperate the way they used to. For some, it's difficulty seeing fine print. For others, it may be harder to read facial expressions from across the room. The good news is that there are simple, natural steps we can take to support healthy vision as we age. While nothing replaces a checkup with your eye doctor, adding certain vegetables to our meals may offer a powerful boost to our overall eye health. This doesn't mean a magic cure, but it does mean we have options, more than we might think, to keep our vision clearer for longer. Perhaps you've heard that vitamins and minerals are important for eye health, but maybe the advice seemed too generic. Just eat more vegetables can feel overwhelming or even a bit dismissive, especially if you've tried that route without seeing immediate results. Still, research suggests that certain nutrients like beta-carotene, lutein, and vitamin C may be particularly helpful in supporting the eye's delicate structures as we get older. I've seen countless seniors discover that a few tweaks in the kitchen can lead to exciting changes in day-to-day life, like reading a menu without fumbling for stronger glasses or spotting a grandchild's grin from across the living room. Why does this matter so much? For one, our eyes help us navigate the world with confidence. Clearer vision means more independence. Being able to drive safely for a bit longer, enjoying a wider range of hobbies, or simply recognizing friends at social gatherings without second-guessing who's who. It's about preserving our quality of life in the years when every moment counts. That sense of freedom to keep reading, gardening, or even pursuing new crafts matters more than ever. In just a moment, I'm going to share 6 colorful vegetables that many seniors overlook, but could be of real benefit to aging eyes. Each one offers nutrients linked to better visual support, and they're relatively easy to find in supermarkets across the country. As you hear about these vegetables, you might be surprised to learn that some of them challenge old misconceptions. Maybe you've believed that it's too late to make a difference, or that your eyes won't benefit from dietary changes after a certain age. I want to show you that, while individual results can vary, small, consistent efforts really do add up over time. You're not stuck with a single destiny, even if you have a family history of vision problems. As a nutritional educator, I've spent years helping older adults discover that good health isn't reserved just for the young. With proper guidance, we can all find ways to enhance our well-being. Of course, it's crucial to check with your healthcare provider for personalized advice, especially if you have specific conditions or concerns. But if you've been feeling a bit discouraged about your vision, keep watching. By the end of our time together, you'll have practical tips on how to incorporate 6 eye-supportive vegetables into your routine, and you'll see that it's never too late to take active steps toward clearer, more vibrant sight. Think for a moment. How would your daily life change if you could rely on your eyes a little more each day? Let that question guide you as we explore these 6 colorful vegetable powerhouses. First, let's talk about carrots. For decades, many of us have heard that carrots are the ultimate eye food. While the story got its share of hype during wartime propaganda, there is genuine truth behind carrots' reputation. One misunderstanding, though, is that if our vision has already declined, a carrot here or there can fix it overnight. That's not the case. Still, carrots hold a potent secret that can benefit us at any age. Take Helen, for example, who is 73 and was told for years that carrots were only good for growing kids. She dismissed them, thinking that once you're past a certain point, the advantage is gone. But after learning that carrots contain beta-carotene, which our bodies convert to vitamin A, crucial for maintaining a healthy retina, Helen decided to experiment. She started snacking on raw carrot sticks a few afternoons a week and adding shredded carrots to her salads. Over a few months, she noticed small but steady improvements. She felt less eye fatigue reading her weekly church bulletins, and she began to see better in dim lighting. From a scientific perspective, vitamin A is vital for supporting the retina and helping us see in low-light conditions. Carrots are also an accessible, affordable option found in most grocery stores. For those worried about cooking challenges, carrots are incredibly versatile. You can steam them, roast them, or use them in soups. The key is consistency. One easy approach is to grate a bit into your morning omelet or blend a carrot into your smoothie. Even a small regular serving can help ensure you're getting enough beta-carotene to keep your eyes well supported. Perhaps the biggest takeaway is that carrots aren't just kids' food or an old wives' tale. They're a gentle, natural source of an essential nutrient that our eyes need. Emotionally, there's something comforting about knowing you can strengthen your daily routine without a complete dietary overhaul. When you feel that sense of control, like you can do something proactive for your vision, the emotional benefits can be just as powerful as the physical ones. You're reminded that you still have agency, even if other aspects of health feel more challenging. Next up are red bell peppers. Many seniors think bell peppers are just for adding color to a dish or giving a bit of crunch to a salad. But there's a misconception that, beyond brightening up a meal, peppers don't have much else to offer. In reality, red bell peppers are packed with vitamin C, which plays a crucial role in eye health. This vitamin supports the blood vessels in our eyes and may help combat oxidative stress, something that's especially important as we age. Joe, 76, had never considered peppers a health food. "I just thought they tasted good," he said. But when he learned about the link between vitamin C and maintaining healthy eye tissue, Joe began adding slices of red bell pepper to his lunchtime sandwich every day. It didn't feel like a major effort. Over time, he noticed that his eyes felt less dry, especially in the afternoons, and he had more stamina for reading. He wasn't the only one who noticed. The local librarian remarked he seemed to be checking out more large print novels than ever. While dryness can stem from many factors, Joe credits his consistent intake of vitamin C-rich foods, including peppers, as one piece of his improved comfort. The science suggests that antioxidants like vitamin C help protect the eyes from damage caused by free radicals. While we can't block every source of stress on our eyes, sunlight, aging, and common lifestyle factors will always be there. We can give our system the nutrients it needs to fight back. And if you're not a fan of raw peppers, try roasting them with a drizzle of olive oil. The sweetness intensifies and they become wonderfully soft, perfect for adding to a side dish or blending into a hearty soup. Emotionally, biting into a crisp pepper or enjoying a roasted pepper's savory sweetness can also remind us that healthy eating need not be a chore. It can be a flavorful experience, one that sparks a sense of excitement about discovering new recipes. Before we move forward, I'd love to know, have you tried incorporating any of these foods regularly? Or do you have a favorite way of eating carrots or peppers that you find especially tasty? Take a moment to reflect on how often you eat these vegetables and whether you've noticed any changes, big or small. Sometimes just paying attention to how our diet affects our vision can be enlightening. Now let's explore spinach. Many people believe spinach is primarily for people trying to boost their iron levels or for cartoon characters with bulging muscles. But for seniors specifically concerned about vision, spinach is a treasure trove of lutein and zeaxanthin, two antioxidants known to concentrate in the retina and help filter harmful blue light. Despite that, a common misconception is, if I'm not anemic or worried about my iron intake, spinach won't do much for me. In reality, its eye-focused nutrients might be the bigger reason to include spinach in your meals. Consider Martha, who is 80 and has age-related macular degeneration, AMD, in its early stages. She feared that there was nothing she could do beyond her medication. At first, she resisted the idea of changing her diet because she felt it was too late. But after some gentle persuasion from her daughter, Martha started blending a handful of fresh spinach into her morning smoothie. Within a couple of months, she noticed less strain when checking her emails on the computer. Her optometrist also noted that her condition seemed stable, and while diet alone can't reverse advanced issues, it can support the eye's ongoing needs. The key nutrients, lutein and zeaxanthin, act like internal sunglasses, filtering out high-energy light that could damage the retina. Leafy greens like spinach make it surprisingly easy to incorporate these protective compounds. If smoothies aren't your style, consider gently sautéing spinach in olive oil and seasoning it with garlic. Not only is it quick to make, but the little bit of healthy fat from the oil may help your body absorb the nutrients more effectively. On an emotional level, adding spinach can serve as a hopeful reminder that we still have ways to look after ourselves, even when facing common age-related eye challenges. Each small choice, like adding spinach to a meal, becomes a form of self-care that strengthens our sense of possibility. Moving on to our fourth colorful helper, purple cabbage. It might not be the first vegetable you think of when you think of eye health, and many seniors pass it by in the produce aisle, assuming it's just for decorative slaws. The misconception here is that colorful vegetables are nice to look at, but they can't compete with traditional superfoods. Yet purple cabbage is a fantastic source of anthocyanins, plant compounds that lend that deep, vibrant hue and have been linked to various health benefits, including potentially supporting healthy vision. Meet George, 77, who'd never thought twice about cabbage. But after reading an article on anthocyanins, he was curious. Could this humble vegetable really help protect his eyes? He decided to add thin slices of raw purple cabbage into his salads, sprinkling a bit of vinegar and salt to soften it. To his surprise, he found that it added not just color, but a fresh, crunchy texture that made his meals more enjoyable. After a few weeks, he felt his eyes seemed less tired in the evenings, although he admitted that might be partly psychological. Either way, George stuck with it because the small routine gave him a sense of being proactive. Anthocyanins are believed to support the body's natural defenses against oxidative stress, and the eyes, because of their constant exposure to light, are especially vulnerable to such stress over time. Cooking purple cabbage is also an option, but keep in mind that some of the bright color and certain nutrients may diminish with heat. If raw cabbage feels tough to chew, you could try lightly steaming it or making a quick pickle with a simple marinade. The physical benefits might be subtle, but the emotional payoff can be substantial. It's empowering to try something new and discover it's more versatile than you imagine. Exploring fresh ways to prepare purple cabbage reminds us that life doesn't have to lose its sparkle or creativity just because we're past a certain age. Now that we've covered 4 of these eye-supportive vegetables, I'm curious, do you see any patterns emerging? Are there misconceptions you once held that you might be reevaluating? Take a moment to think about what's come to mind. Sometimes just staying open to new possibilities can pave the way for healthier habits. Next is sweet potatoes. Many people think of them as a holiday side dish, drenched in sugary toppings, but sweet potatoes are loaded with beta-carotene, similar to carrots, and can be a great alternative for those who prefer a softer texture. A common misconception among seniors is that sweet foods are automatically unhealthy, but sweet potatoes offer natural sweetness along with vitamins and fiber. They have a lower glycemic index than you might expect, particularly when baked or roasted, making them a more stable source of energy. Let me share Mary's story. At 82, Mary was concerned about her blood sugar because diabetes runs in her family. She avoided anything that tasted sweet, fearing it would spike her glucose levels. But during a nutritional workshop at her local community center, Mary learned that sweet potatoes' natural sugars are absorbed more slowly, especially when eaten with the skin. With some cautious experimentation, she began replacing regular potatoes with sweet potatoes in her stews and casseroles. Over time, her doctor noted that her blood sugar levels were still under good control, and she benefited from the added beta-carotene. Mary reported fewer problems with eye strain as she took up crocheting again, a hobby she'd shelved because she found it too visually taxing. From a scientific angle, the high beta-carotene content converts to vitamin A in the body, supporting the same crucial eye functions as carrots do. Additionally, sweet potatoes contain vitamin C and potassium, which can help with overall health. You can bake them, mash them, or even slice them into wedges and roast them with a drizzle of olive oil. The natural creaminess can be quite satisfying, like a comforting reminder that nutritious food doesn't have to be bland or boring. Emotionally, Mary's shift helped her realize that facing a family history of chronic conditions doesn't mean you have to forfeit flavor or enjoyment. Each meal can still be an opportunity to savor life and support your body at the same time. Finally, there's kale. This leafy green has been in the spotlight for a while, but many seniors feel a bit put off by its tougher texture. They might assume it's only for health nuts or that it requires fancy recipes. In reality, kale is one of the richest sources of lutein and zeaxanthin, similar to spinach, making it another top contender for supporting older eyes. The misconception is that kale is too bitter or too tough to fit into a normal diet, so it often gets skipped. Peter, 74, used to complain that kale tasted like a broom bristle, but after his neighbor brought him a kale salad massaged with olive oil and lemon juice, he changed his tune. The acid from the lemon and the oil worked together to soften the leaves, bringing out a milder flavor. Curious, he researched more about how lutein and zeaxanthin work to protect the eyes from the stress of blue light, which we're all exposed to through electronics and even regular indoor lighting. Peter began including a small kale salad twice a week and also tried kale in soups. After a few months, he said his eyes felt less irritated after prolonged time on his computer. While that's not a medical conclusion, he's convinced it made a difference, and psychologically, it gave him a sense of control. In addition to lutein and zeaxanthin, kale offers a variety of vitamins and minerals that support overall health. Cooking it lightly can make it easier to digest, but if you prefer a bit of crunch, massaging the leaves with a dressing can do wonders. The physical benefits of these nutrients are supported by various studies, though results can vary from person to person. The emotional benefit is realizing that even a vegetable you once disliked can become a favorite with the right preparation. Trying out a new recipe or exploring a different cooking technique can remind you that discovery and growth remain part of life, no matter your age. We've now gone through 6 vegetables: carrots, red bell peppers, spinach, purple cabbage, sweet potatoes, and kale, that each provide a unique blend of nutrients associated with better eye support. You might be wondering, do you have to eat all 6 every single day? The answer is no. Even small, steady additions across your meals can be enough to make a meaningful difference over time. If you're new to these foods, consider starting with the 1 or 2 that sound most appealing and branch out from there. Sometimes experimentation leads to a new favorite dish or a new spark of motivation in the kitchen. At this point, I invite you to pause and reflect on which of these vegetables appeals to you the most. Or maybe you're thinking of ways to combine them. Could you add carrots and peppers to a stir-fry, or blend spinach and kale into a hearty soup? Allow yourself to imagine the tastes, the textures, and the sense of accomplishment you'll feel by taking active steps to support your vision. There's a wonderful sense of hope in realizing that you're not powerless against the gradual changes that can come with aging eyes. Of course, it's always wise to stay current with your eye exams and consult healthcare professionals when you notice any changes in your vision. But diet is one piece of the puzzle that we can control day to day. When it comes to prevention and management of common vision challenges, giving your eyes the right nutrients helps them stand a better chance of functioning well for years to come. It's about building a foundation that supports not just your eyes but your overall health, because the same antioxidants and vitamins that help your vision often contribute to better wellness in other areas as well. Let's look back briefly at what we've discovered. Carrots and sweet potatoes supply beta-carotene, a building block for vitamin A, helping with night vision and reducing eye fatigue. Red bell peppers and purple cabbage bring antioxidant power, including vitamin C and anthocyanins, to protect delicate eye tissues from oxidative stress. Spinach and kale deliver lutein and zeaxanthin, forming a sort of natural shield against harmful light. These vegetables are colorful, flavorful, and versatile enough to fit into almost any eating style, whether you prefer raw salads, comforting soups, or quick stir-fries. If you're feeling a spark of excitement to try something new, that's exactly the point. Sometimes urgency is felt as a gentle nudge rather than a loud alarm. Maintaining and supporting our vision can't always wait until an obvious problem arises. Starting now, whether you're 65, 75, or 85, helps your eyes get the steady supply of nutrients they need to stay as robust as possible. It's not about rushing in panic. It's about taking each meal as an opportunity to care for your future self. Picture a week from now. You're at the grocery store and you pass the produce section. Instead of skirting by the kale or overlooking that bin of sweet potatoes, you pause. You remember that short story about Mary or Peter, how they made a simple change that gave them a sense of momentum. You pick up a few items, maybe just 1 pepper or a small bag of spinach to start. On the ride home, you feel a bit of anticipation, maybe even pride, because you're deciding to be intentional about your health. That's a decision that can infuse the rest of your day and your life with hope. If you're ready to take this beyond just ideas, consider these options. Talk to your healthcare provider about adding more of these vegetables to your diet, especially if you have specific medical conditions or take medications that require dietary considerations. If you feel comfortable cooking, schedule a day this week to try a new recipe. Or if cooking is a challenge, see if a family member or friend might join you in the kitchen. You can learn new methods together and share the results. Finally, if you found this conversation helpful, think of sharing it with someone else who might benefit, perhaps a neighbor or a loved one who's also concerned about their vision. Each of us has a different journey, but we share a common desire to keep seeing and experiencing the world with as much clarity as possible. While aging can present its challenges, it also offers opportunities to explore new ways of caring for ourselves. Don't underestimate your ability to make a difference in your health, even in what might seem like small steps. A handful of spinach here, a bite of roasted sweet potato there. It all adds up. And through these small, consistent efforts, you can nurture not just your eyesight, but also a renewed sense of possibility. Our eyes are windows to the world, and by giving them the nutrition they deserve, we keep those windows as clear and bright as they can be, one vibrant, colorful plate at a time.